What's up everyone, it's Crispy here, and today I'm going to be doing a little Transcendence overview, in quotation marks. I'm not going to go too in-depth on the fights themselves, because a lot of them are Lufenia, and with the current roster of characters, with just how many HP dumps, how strong they are, the FRs, you can mostly avoid a lot of mechanics and just plow through them. I will try to just go into why I chose certain characters, but that's about it. Alright, without further ado, here we are with Tier 1. Tier 1 is these godforsaken mermaid people and the fire wheels. These bad boys were annoying as hell. Now, I chose Paladin, Cecil, Cloud, and Gabranth at the time because, one, Gabranth puts a lot of debuffs on the enemy. You need debuffs to make sure they don't trigger stuff, or you see, like, to keep the Lufenia orb up. That's why I had 2 more debuffs in a turn. His skill 1 or skill basically always puts 2 or more debuffs. I had Paladin Cecil in there for the second wave. You're at least 100% HP. Paladin Cecil gives you over max heal, or HP overflow, I mean, which basically always has the Lufenia orb paused. And here, if you go down here on the tips, it says, a special countdown will stop while the party's HP is higher than max. So bring allies who can restore HP in excess of max HP. Boom. Paladin Cecil. And at this time, Cloud wasn't as OP as he is right now. Well, I don't want to say OP, but I think he just got like a BT or maybe a little rework and on his skill 1. And then I think Paladin Cecil had just gotten his BT. So if you use BTs, you know, you get more damage in here. I put Gladio in there just for the crystals. The side ones don't really matter. The main team I used in the middle is what I always wanted to end up with. Alright, we'll go on to Tier 2. Now, I remember Tier 2 gave me some trouble. It took me a lot of tries. I tried to, like, min-max. Basically, I mean, you can see I had a lot of HP done. It took me 95 turns. Whew, it was not fun. I had Garland in there for the dark damage. I had Aranea in there because at that time she was broken with the breaks and all that stuff. And then Terra because I could get a lot of turns in a row. Alright. 3. I kind of just used launch mechanics on this one. I tried to start doing duos so I could save as many characters as possible. And like I said, back then, the characters that you see in here did not have the reworks that they had, and they did not have the weapons they had. I'm pretty sure my Squall wasn't even green because I didn't use Squall like that. I basically just used him for AoE damage here. Let's see. And I had one of the twins. See? HP regen. That's why I had one of the twins in there. Yeah. And for HP overflow. And then I had Kais for the launches, which really helped out on that stage. Tier 4. This is where I used my Setzer. Let's see what this is about. Okay, these guys. I had Unit in there to help me for some healing, some buff, buff like Isuna. Then I had my Vaughn in there for basically DPS. This stage can get annoying. Let's see. Removes all enemies' buffs. Only own debuffs. Let's see the tips. As its HP falls, it will begin attempting to regenerate with Curaga. So yeah, don't let it get turns. And that's what I did with Vaughn and Yuna. Plus, look, these early ones, I barely got past these early ones. It was a struggle for me. Setzer, I used his skill joker, or his first skill 1, I think that's what it is, I don't remember, freeze, to help me out. And I basically just used these guys on the right-hand side because no one had a BT, and I wanted to not use all my BTs up. Alright, plus they're red crystals, so that's why I use them on the right. Yellow crystal on the right, green crystal on the left. If you didn't know, it says it right here. I actually just noticed that. I'm not even going to front and act like I knew that was there, because I didn't. Tier 5. These guys. Yeah, the zombie lords. They can get pretty annoying. I did this with Bart's. Yeah, oh, this is when that... Oh, yeah. You can just spam the turns. See, that's why it's only 31 turns. Because you can continually bring your turns up and just have Sid Reigns act a bunch of times and just launch and like, destroy. She's there. I can't remember her name right now. But she's there just for her special ability to bring characters up. That's it. Alright, this bad boy. This was an off-turn comp with fire because of Jekt. I had him green. These guys weren't too bad, but you needed to inflict 8 or more debuffs in one turn, and they can get out of hand and just KO you immediately. These freaking things, oh my god. The purple man, or pure mantis, lunatic mantis, whatever the hell you want to call them. These dudes are annoying as shit. You have to have a ton of debuffs on them. And they also cleanse at certain thresholds. Yeah, 90, 60, they'll cancel all debuffs. And then they'll start to heal. Or look, right here. No special countdown will appear, but the boss gains the following effects while afflicted with the indicated number of debuffs or fewer. So if you have 1 debuff on them, reduced brave and HP damage taken. 4, increased brave damage, HP damage dealt. 6, will move next turn to follow its target's turn after player. 7. So basically, you have to have 7 or more debuffs on them so that they will not take constant turns. And I'm pretty sure if they do get a turn, they'll heal a little bit. So it's just all in all hell on that stage. You want to have Ferris debuff call. You want to have basically any call that can give you a bunch of debuffs. And that's why I had a bunch of off-turn stuff with Beatrix and my boy Orin. My main DPS was actually Jekt, if you can believe it back then. Here we are for Tier 7. This, I want to say, was a pretty simple one with this team, Machina and Queen. Yeah, it looked like I dusted them pretty easy. These Necromancers can get out of hand because they can heal a lot. Can they heal? Actually, I don't know. When a player's party HP falls below 30%... Ah, yeah. If you fall below 30% HP, it auto-kills you. At 80, 50, and 30, it'll take a defensive posture and greatly increase its defense. Its defenses will crumble when any of the following conditions are met. Enemy acts, so they act, their defense will crumble afterwards. Enemy takes brave damage that ignores defense. That's why I had Locke there, because Locke's BT ability makes it so that you automatically ignore defense. He's perfect for that stage. And you cover at least 1% of max HP with an ability, so if you heal at all. Which I think Queen can do. With her refund, like when you bring yourself to 1 HP and then your berserk mode goes away, you heal a little bit. Technically, I think that'll count as well. Here we are with Tier 8. Just kind of dusted him with the boy Zach. This stage can get difficult because you need the enemy to act. If it does not act, I don't think you can actually KO it. Yeah, the countdown ability after the first use of regenerated bio breath, the ability will KO after that. The countdown ability after the second use of regenerate is bio breath, which applies an effect to the field that steals players. The enemy twice uses regenerate when it falls between 10. Yes, see, it appears after the second use of regenerate. So then you actually need the enemy to act. That's why I had Zac there with the shields to protect us. I had Guard it with off turn, and then I had Rem for heals as well. As well as turn manipulation if I needed it. 10, 9, this is when we stopped, actually this one was difficult. Yeah, you need some debuffs for the Wendigos. I put Sephiroth here for the breaks. I used Vincent because I think he had just gotten his FR, or not FR, his BT maybe, or LD, one of the two, and I wanted to use lightning damage, because I think they're weak against lightning. Let me see. No, you can make them weak against lightning, though. And the gold debuff for the increase was Sephiroth. At that point in time, it did take me a couple times to do this stage, like resets, and get it perfect. I put Kadaj over here just for funsies, to be honest. Here we are with 10. Now this stage was where I was not playing around. As you can see, I used a duo on the left, Titos on the right, and this is the first Shinryu stage. So we had FR, and I nuked it with Tidus. Tidus needed Charlotta there to retain mostly all the brave, because once you get this enemy right here to what, like 10% or something like that, it'll start to heal by 1,000,000 every turn. If you're not dealing at least 1,000,000 damage, it's gonna out heal all of what you're doing, and you'll basically have to reset. So you don't want to run out of your FR, because one, you don't have echoes, and two, I had a bunch of off-turn damage with Kain inside of the BT phase, and Charlotta's brave retention, which is significant for Tidus, because he has a ton of HP dumps on his blitzball kick, whatever it's called, follow-up, I can't remember. Alright, 11. We had the girl Tifa here. We were not playing around. We still got hurt a bunch, which is kind of crazy. Let's see what these guys are. The Nashorn. I don't remember much about this, but if I use Tifa... Oh, it's because Renoa was one of the main ones, and I wanted to use Tifa and be stubborn. So I single target DPS them to death. I had Luna Freya there to charge the FR, and I had Core there for the off-turn damage in the BT phase. Here we are with 12. I wasn't playing around with this one. I know these guys. These are the bird things. Yep, the mechanical birds. Perfect for Seymour, because this is when Seymour just got his BT. So you basically just wear down the first one. It'll summon 2 more after a certain HP threshold. And then you just... Yeah, once it hits 50%, cannot be defeated before the other 2 are summoned. So with the way Seymour mechanics work, you just absolutely start pouncing on them once they get to 50%. So you kind of do want to spread out the damage between the other ones so that the middle one doesn't get KO'd and you lose some of your follow-ups. But I also had Celes in there to make sure that we were protected, because she's a goat. Celes is a freaking goat when it comes to, like, Dare to Defy and Transcendence. She's really good, and I really enjoy using her. This stage, Jesus God. I actually forgot that I didn't finish this stage because I was being stubborn trying to use Jack right here, because he's a blue crystal character. Or is he red? I don't know. I think he was the only other character that I could use technically that was actually built and viable. So let me explain to you how I did this stage. For the very first ones, I got them down to whatever percent they got KO'd. As soon as I got to the second wave, I activated Sice's FR. Sice's FR is what made it so that they lost their buff, didn't do a ton of follow-ups after we attacked every turn. And then, if all went well, we could go into the third round with maybe still Sice's FR active. If not, it was fine because I would activate Jack Garland's there. And to be honest, I don't even think I went into his BT... No, I think I went into his BT phase on the second round. And on the third round, I used the Sid Reigns LD call to help me get extra damage off, because I wasn't concerned with rushing the third wave because it does charge slow. Like, yeah, you see, you need the dark melee, and I didn't have what's his face built, Cecil, Dark Knight Cecil. I don't think I had his BT built, and I still don't. I only had him LD'd, and I tried a couple times. But then I retried like a couple weeks later, like a couple months, I don't even know. I completely forgot about it. And ended up completing it. It took me 58 turns and almost the HP threshold. But I think I did have a healing call on. One of them, it was Palom or Porum, one of the twins, the ones that give you HP overflow. That one was a doozy, and I don't ever want to see that stage ever again. 14. This was a duo between Kurosame and Rubicante. This was one of the easiest stages I'd ever done. You just have to make sure that you hit your FR before the enemy does. If they hit theirs, they start healing, it's not fun. They're gonna have a bad time. But Rubicante and Kurosame just absolutely destroy with off-turn damage. And I have both of their BTs and FRs fully echoed. So there were 2 fully built units going in there, decimating. Here we are with 15. I used Noctis, Cloud of Darkness, and the Strangers of Paradise, Neon. I cannot think of their names right now. Jesus. This, I want to say, was not difficult, the Twintanias. But I honestly don't remember. These fights, I just get in here, dust them off, and leave. The purpose of this overview is to show you my team comps. Sometimes I don't remember the reasoning behind them. But Noctis obviously is there for the follow-ups with his BT effect and his LD so that the Twintanias don't get turns. And here we are with the bad boy final tier 16, Astos, Quina, Iris. I can tell you my reasoning for these three characters. One, Astos nukes. I wanted to just avoid basically all the mechanics of this fight. Quina, BT effect. Avoid all the mechanics of this fight. I don't need elemental damage if I have Quina's BT effect. Iris, one, her BT effect lets me constantly break the Shinryu so that it's constantly getting delayed. Even when it gets like an instantaneous turn, Quina's trap will trigger and deal about 20% of its HP. Because on the second wave, it'll trigger twice. And I was hitting 20% when it triggered twice. Also, for Iris's BT effect, the enemy is going to deal 1 brave damage. We're invincible. We can't get hurt. So even if you do act, guess what? You're screwed. You ain't going to hurt me. And then I just used, like I said, Astos for nuke. Go check out that video. It's doing really well. Thank you guys, by the way. Now, I don't want to do this, per se, but I think I can download all of my Transcendence runs that I've done. I see them in my studio, my YouTube studio right now, and then compile them into one. If this video gets to 50 likes, I'll do it. I'll compile them all and put them in one whole video. Now, just as a disclaimer, those characters, when they were used, did not have the current reworks and the weapons that they had right now. So you'll see them back then when I first did the stage, and you can see how difficult or how hard of a time I had. So if you want to use those same characters, it'll be significantly easier now if they've gotten a rework or have more weapons, BTs, all that crap. Alright, I'll put that in the description as well, because I don't know how many of you made it to the end of the video. But if you did, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace.